Right? And I'm not playing no games.
Yeah, so we just finished up talking about the Ghostbusters film and some general thoughts about doing a follow up. And again, I think we're pretty good in consensus. I think we all would like to see something that stays true to the legacy. I think we feel a little anxious that there wasn't like an announcement of Jason Reitman's been given the keys and he's gonna do a follow up. I don't even want him to use the term sequel. I'd rather him just say, listen, we're going to build around Winston. He's got the Ecto One. I've heard people like really on the fence on this. You guys give me your thoughts. I think Aykroyd's going to be down for coming in. He may not come in for like a major role, but he'll be down for working a couple months. Why not? I mean, they're not going to get Bill Murray back. No, that's done. Right.
And he's not necessary, really, when you think about the narrative.
At this point, I don't think you can have Ray and Winston running the Ecto One, running the tech, getting a new team up and running. The kids probably need a mentor. There's pieces there that you could work with. I don't know. What do you guys think, Jace?
No, I think the same as you. I could say it better myself. So
okay. Ironcaster?
I mean, I feel like Star Wars, or no, I'm sorry, Star Wars. I was gonna go there with my answer. Ghostbusters did what Star Wars should have, and that is pass the torch.
Yeah,
I feel
in
like
the proper way.
Yeah, I feel like if they were smart, they would wait a couple of years, let the kids get a little older, and then you can effectively transition to them as adults continuing this. They go to a more ghost-infested area to then continue that. Or if they wanted to spend more money, they could try to do something in New York to they're back in New York and all the problems are happening. Because if you remember, like the stories around this movie of Afterlife was that it was like a very cheap production because they were out in the middle of nowhere.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So the question is going to be like, do they want to keep doing that? Do they want to try to keep the budget low?
Right. Or raise the threat level by going to a big city like that. Chris, what do you think?
Well, I mean, I very much agree with Ironcasters that Ghostbusters Afterlife did what Star Wars should have done, which is to respect the past and then hand off the torch to the next generation. Because, I mean, for a lot of Star Wars fans, they wanted this, which I'm sharing a picture. This is a cartoon of what fans wanted, but this is what fans wanted.
Yeah,
they wanted to see Han, Luke, and Leia all together again. They wanted to see, and Lando and Chewie. They wanted all that. They wanted the team back together. And then this trilogy could have been what handed off the torch to the next generation.
Yeah.
The problem is because of what Disney has done, we're never going to get that, especially because of the passing of Carrie Fisher. God bless the princess.
Well, to even build upon that, they didn't even have to go and like have them being the big action stars. They didn't have to go and have the trio together, like going in the Millennium Falcon to go and like be the big heroes.
I'm
like,
just saying is that
just kind of been there as mentors.
The ideal thing would have been to let them have one last trilogy and then hand off to the next generation for the next trilogy.
That
would have been the ideal thing, but
that's what Ghostbusters did pretty well.
Yeah,
I think with that part.
Troy, you're probably the biggest of the Ghostbuster fans among us here. So, what are your thoughts on like how you think the franchise will, or maybe how you would like it to move forward?
Okay, let me front load this a little bit. So this was a perfect storm for Ghostbusters. We came off the pandemic. We came off a lot of bad will for 2016, and we had a lot of fans kind of starting to get excited about maybe they're going to forget 2016. This is going to be a sequel. They already had that front loaded. And as they kept pushing it off, the fans could have gotten really upset. But what they did was brilliant. The licensing, they kept putting out new stuff. New stuff would hit the market, and re-release of the previous stuff, and the toys from the 80s were done again, and we got new versions of them. The marketing was brilliant, so that by the time they finally hit, the theaters, the fans just went nuts. And I said, and I was in a chat room or whatever you kids call these interwebs these days, talking about they keep pushing it off, people are going to lose interest. I said, no, they are doing this brilliantly. I said, and it doesn't, at this point, it doesn't even matter how well the film does at the box office. They will be going into it already breaking even just on marketing. Remember, Star Wars, George Lucas taught us.
Yep.
The real money is in the marketing, the toys, and the toys have been selling hand over fist.
Oh, yes.
The success of the HasLab for the Proton Pack should prove that to you.
Yes.
Not to mention, how well Ghostbusters News has been doing on YouTube and so many other channels.
Sure.
I mean, yeah, it's a juggernaut, and Sony knew what they had, and they're like, if we want to keep selling the action figures, we just need to keep putting out.
Kevin Murphy
even
from Rip
if
Trek
they
and
just
Mystery
put out
Science
mediocre
Theater
films
3000.
that didn't piss
Hey,
off
this
the
is Martin
fans.
Casting
I'm
Crown.
sorry, I
This
did
is
it.
Alan
You're
Powell
fine.
from the
You're
I
film
did it
The
last
Song.
time too.
Hey,
I
this
get
is
one.
Christian
I get
Kane.
one a show.
This is Colin Mockery.
Hello, everybody. This
If
is
they
Tiny
if they
Singleton,
don't
aka
drive
T-Dog
away the
from The
fans
Walking
that
Dead,
way and
and
just
you are
keep them
listening to
interested,
my main
they'll
man,
keep selling the
Brandon.
toys, they'll keep selling the backpacks and the everything, and the hang Slimer from the ceiling that glows in the dark or whatever.
Yeah, I think this
The
is
collection Blu-ray set.
Yep.
Yeah,
Got
yeah.
those too. Yeah.
Another video game, right? So I think there's just this is the thing too. Is like, again, we said this earlier in the show. We're talking about it being a franchise. It's a commodity. It's a line item. And I know as fans, we're like, oh, we want this one. We get greedy with this. But again, if any aspect of this can generate enough revenue, then you can get by and justify different moves and take some different risks. And yeah.
I think one of the best examples of the demand for that merchandising was those Ecto-1 popcorn buckets.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, you remember when? All right, so I believe it was AMC had the Ecto-1s popcorn bucket where you could lift the hood up of the Ecto-1 that you could put your popcorn in that.
Yep.
And the day those came out, they were on eBay for about $200 a piece.
Yep.
Didn't
For what was a $35 bucket.
Wasn't it? I'm trying to remember who did it. Was it High C? Didn't they release the green slime drinks or whatever? I can't remember what it's called now.
2016 they re-released it and did really well. It did not come out for Afterlife, and there is actually somebody on Twitter that's going by re-release Ecto Cooler or something like that, and they've been really trying to get them to put it out again. They only put out like a few promotional ones that went to specific people that shared out on their social media, High C and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, that really did seem to be a missed opportunity in the marketing, but that's High C's problem.
Someone did a great job. And I know, again, I will say this too, again, pre-current situation, hardcore Disney stuff. I mean, I have an Oogie Boogie popcorn bucket, like this big, right? That stuff sold like crazy for these companies. So them spidering out and trying different things and stuff like that, it's been a great success for. And then there's tons of source material. I really want to see them tap into that real Ghostbusters cartoon, because there's some mythos there that could be great. I said this about Men in Black. Men in Black is a wasted franchise. This cartoon that was done with Men in Black, that animated show, was really, there's some really good stuff in there. There's some really good stuff in there that can be adapted.
If you also look at the original Man in Black comics that the movies are based off of,
really good
there's
stuff.
A heck of a lot more to that, where the Men in Black comics are way different from what we see in the movie, because the movies just deal around with aliens protecting humanity, where the comics are more dark. I mean, Men in Black in the comics don't even worry if they kill you. They'll wipe your mind, they'll kill you, they'll do anything to keep everything a secret. Not just aliens, but also demons, ghosts, all that stuff. They're just basically,
it's so much more
generic paranormal, supernatural stuff.
Sure. Yeah. Ghost cops. All right. Awesome. Awesome.
Well, I mean, basically, like they're normally like the generic men in black who come for anything, for aliens,
right.
for
The
ghosts,
idea,
for
yeah.
demons, anything. They're that's what they are, and they're gonna wipe your mind or they'll make you disappear.
Yep.
Yeah, there were some really good comic books. There really was. That cartoon was really good. I really did enjoy that back in the day. My kids got into it too, which was always makes it even more rewarding. And I really was hoping that we would see they'd see some.
Yeah, I loved it. I loved
And
the comic. Or the
that
cartoon.
you just hit on it exactly there, Pops. This is the thing that's probably bothered me the most. Not only are they pushing fans away, but they're not getting in the new audience. And the reason they don't get the new audience is because the old audience isn't handing it off to their
I'm not
kids.
taking them. I'm not taking them.
When Force Awakens came out, there was a couple of really good commercials. There was one for batteries, and there was one for, I think it was Toys R Us. And they depicted parents interacting with their kid and the kids becoming the new generation and kind of handing it off. The Toys R Us one was trying to get his daughter to watch Star Wars and she wasn't interested. And then he can't find her in the toy aisle, and she's in the Star Wars aisle with the lightsaber, and he goes, "You are my daughter. I am your
right." Yeah. I remember that now. Yeah.
And it's like that's it, right? Same thing with the brother and sister, and you see their imagination fighting off the stormtroopers, and then you see it from the parents' point of view of them just playing in the snow with toy lightsabers, and you're like, that's it. These guys get it, right? Well, apparently Lucasfilm didn't.
Yeah,
we don't need the old fans. We want to get the new fans. You don't get the new fans if it's not handed off by the parents.
It's exactly how Kathleen Kennedy reacted when they were building Star Wars Land.
Yep.
Oh, we don't want the 30-year-old we don't want the 30-year-old men. We want the next generation. I'm sorry, but if you don't appeal to the 30-year-old men, you're not going to get the 30-year-old man's children.
What did Captain Karen say? I don't care what some 40-year-old white dude says about A Wrinkle in Time. It wasn't made for him. And that 40-year-old white man goes, "Oh, really? Well, I won't be seeing it. Neither will my daughter."
Right. Yeah. And
I mean, who did actually go see it? Apparently they sold out on all their theaters, but when people actually went into the theaters, the seats are all empty.
well, there's a pretty big conspiracy about this whole Captain Marvel ticket sale
I
stuff.
would not be surprised.
No, it all went public. There was like these GoFundMe's, and there was these like sort of like, you can send a poor child to go see this movie campaign. They did it with Black Panther. They did it with Black Panther as well. You could basically sponsor a kid, but there was no one in these auditoriums. So all the tickets sold. It was like just giving Disney free money. You just feel good about yourself donating.
I would actually not be surprised if Disney actually went and bought the tickets themselves just to turn around and say, "Hey, see, shareholders, we did good. We did good." See,
the problem with that is that's very Enron kind of marketing. It's like moving things around to make it look like we're doing better. You cannot maintain that. And the other thing is, we again living in the information age.
Look at what Disney is right now. And I mean, you also have that one person at a former accountant of Disney who blew the whistle, and all that has been brushed underneath the rug.
And
the story there was that they would go and if as I remember it, they would basically go and buy tickets, or they would go and credit tickets on gift cards, which they wouldn't chalk off as a spent expense. But then when the people went and spent the gift card, they would count that as a sale.
Yep.
Right.
So the accusation goes.
And but again, this is where the internet, for all of its evils, actually works. This is the information age, and people don't miss this stuff. They see it happening, and when they see a GoFundMe to send a girl to empower her and go see underprivileged, go see Captain Karen and whatever, people look at that and go, "Oh, really? We're going to send an underprivileged person to go see this movie instead of maybe trying to help their parents get a job or make sure that they eat."
I mean, this is going to make E.T. look like Raiders of the Lost Ark. You know what I'm saying?
Kevin Murphy from Rip Tracks and Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Hey, this is Mark from Casting Crowns. Hey, this is Alan Powell from the film The Song.
Hey, this is Christian Kane.
This is Colin Mockery.
Hello, everybody. This is Irony Singleton, a.k.a. T-Dog from The Walking Dead, and you are listening to my main man, Brandon.